Hey, thanks for joining me for Smarter Real Estate Weekly on Wednesdays. We're talking about art placement today in my series, Living in My Dream Home. And I'm Julie Tam, managing broker of LYN Realty in Houston. Thank you so much for watching here on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn, wherever you're seeing this video. By the end of it, if you found the information useful and helpful, if you enjoyed the video, I hope you will like and then also subscribe so you don't miss an episode. All right, so today we're actually going to be going through our new home and showing you where we've placed art throughout the home. A lot of it based on designer recommendation, and in fact, hiring an art installer through our designer, and then some of it just us adding our own little personal touches to it to be able to showcase some things. So let's start by going into the study. This is our disaster zone because we still haven't finished unpacking this room. Pretty much every room in the house is unpacked at this point. The game room, there's like one box left, but here it's still a work in progress. We just moved in a couple months ago, and I am over 7 months pregnant at this point while this video is being shot. By the time you're watching it, probably closer to like 8 months pregnant or so. But anyway, I do want to show you though this wall here. The art installers placed all of these frames on the floor to arrange them and measure out and space them out. And then now they put them on the walls after we approved and liked the way it looked. And it really is a nice kind of collage of the different awards and features that mostly I have been in over the years when I've been, when I was on television as a news anchor and reporter, and just, articles that I've appeared in and whatnot. And then here we have a wall with a framed photo that was a gift from Rice University to me for my service volunteering for my alma mater. And on this small wall, a few less important, well, I shouldn't say less important, I'm going to offend somebody, but some awards and some certificates that weren't as prominently displayed for, a certain reason. In a previous video, I went over professional organizing and I talked about some of the things in our built-ins in these shelves up here. So I'm not going to go through that in this video. So let's go ahead and cross over through the foyer to look in the formal dining room. Now in this video, I'm not talking about all of the art and decor in the home. It's mainly focused on wall art and then a few other things that our designer helped us place. We have two G. Harvey paintings in the formal dining. G. Harvey is one of my favorite artists, and I've gotten my husband to love him too. I love his use of light. You can just see light sources like the headlight of this trolley and the lanterns and light coming from inside the buildings in this picture, and the way the light reflects onto the wet street where it looks like it has rained, or there actually may even be snow in this painting. And then I just love the mood that he evokes in these paintings. This one is Dallas 1908. And so we had framed these custom framed paintings, and the art installer and our designer thought they would look best in the dining room and just really setting a nice mood. And so here they are. On top of our china cabinet, aka the server and hutch, there is an Asian piece of art. And now that I don't have my glasses on and I'm forgetting, I want to say it's Japanese, maybe Chinese. So it's a tapestry, like a piece of fabric that is put in an art display box or case, a clear one. And so that just sits right on top there. And so yeah, you can definitely mix art from different genres, different countries, different cultures, and it does work. Let's step in here to the butler's pantry and bar, and if you'll turn around and look right above the doorway, there is a sign that says the Tam Civics established 2007, which is the year that my husband and I got married. My last name is Tam, his last name is Siddick, and they thought it would look nice above the doorway there. It's almost like if you go to a bar, like an actual bar, like a tavern or whatever, and they have a sign like that above the doorway, and so that's how that worked out. Not really any art in the kitchen area because you just don't have wall space. You've got black, the tile backsplash. Actually, it's not tile, it's quartzite. And then, of course, the window. So that doesn't really leave much room. The breakfast, there's just a small wall where we managed to put up a couple of pieces here. These are actually really neat. We had these in our old home also above a countertop that was between our kitchen and breakfast. And this is from Eagle Tavern, which is an old, I think 1800s, yes, restaurant in Ford Country. It's up in I'm just totally blanking out, guys, because I'm pregnant and my brain's not working. But like, Henry Ford in Michigan. Let's see, Clinton, Michigan. That's the, the city we're looking for. So the old menu with the old pricing and then a little history from that menu. So this was from the restaurant where I dined there, and I just thought they looked really cool. And I found frames that worked with it in terms of giving it that historical look. And so there they sit in our breakfast area. Our home, you'll find, is kind of an eclectic mix of things from around the world, different types of styles and genres of art. I'm not sounding super artistic in my speech and eloquence right now. But anyway, so it really does come together nicely. Here are three photographs that my husband and I took in Iceland of the Northern Lights when we traveled there several years ago. And they're on a sort of like a metallic, what do they call these? You hear that? Yeah. I'm like, I can't think of the words, so I'm just gonna tap on it. It's like a metallic um, material, and so it gives it a really cool look because of the way that it reflects and the light and all of that. So those are there. And then on this wall, we have some things from different parts of Asia. So like some Chinese, art. This is actually a bottle cover, like a little teapot, Chinese dress that you would put over like a wine bottle. And then here's like a little mini rug type thing, and a fancy cool mirror that used to sit in our powder room in our previous home. And this piece of art is really cool. It's actually from North Korea. So one of my uncles went to North Korea, where very few people would travel. And so he brought this back for us. And then this, I actually don't remember exactly where it's from. I want to say Tibet or Mongolia. Maybe even somewhere in the Middle East. I literally can't remember. I'm so sorry, but my dad brought it back from his travels. Okay, so if you go around and look, here is another type of art. This is a frame TV where right now we just have three rotating pieces of art, the free ones that come with the TV, but you can obviously purchase more art and have it up for as long as you want. You can have them rotating, like these are rotating. I think it's like once every 12 hours, and it's motion censored is how we have it currently. You can set it up to where it's just always on. I feel like that's a huge waste of electricity, but this one is like if we walk by within the living room area, then the art turns on. So that gives you another way to showcase and display art. I talked about our shelves in the living room in another video, so I won't repeat that here. I'll just make you go back and find the old video. Here is more art. So here is actually a photo. It's not even art. I took this photograph in Sedona, Arizona from a cottage, cool little hotel that we stayed at that was very nice. And the view across this stream and then this, cabin in the woods, it just evoked such a nice mood and I loved it. It almost has a G. Harvey-esque look too with the lighting there. And then this is a painting that I got from a cruise ship, and so are these two. Holland America, they have those art auctions, and so yeah, we just framed these, and they are a nice addition. They give them to you for free, and so who doesn't want free art? All right, let's move on over and start to head toward the staircase. On the way, I want to mention, so this mirror we had gotten from just not any sort of super special custom store. I want to say it was like Pier 1 Imports or a store like that, like a national big box chain. But, our designer thought the mirror looked cool. And so here it is right here in our foyer above the console table. And this mirror over here, our designer said, do not hang this mirror up in this house. It's not the right style for your home. Your home is transitional modern. And I was going to give it to my mom, but I just loved it too much. I love the intricate, ornate nature of it. And obviously, it's a little bit, older style, more ornate than the things in our home. But you know what? There's different design ideas that people have. Not everybody can agree on the same thing. And because I love this mirror and the way it looks, we found a place for it, which is right here. When you place things in a hallway or along the staircase or somewhere where you can really, widen the space and just add to it, like why not, right? So yeah, there you go. My son just celebrated his 5th birthday as of the shooting of this video. And so we have his birthday balloons. We like to keep up balloons like this if we had a celebration at our home to just continue to remember and, just be able to have that festive feeling in our home. Okay, as we get to the top of the stairs, we'll see these two canvas photographs of our family when our son was 11 months old. And so these are here in the living room. Once our second son is born, at some point later, we'll have a new family photograph taken in a larger canvas print, or actually not a canvas print, it'll be a framed print that we will put downstairs in the living room to showcase our updated family situation of 4. Okay, in here, this is the game room. We are using though as an exercise/music room. So I have here this black and white cabinet with black and white photos. Actually, it's a black cabinet with black and white photos of myself from over 20 years ago when I was in college, and just had this rock and bod from ballet. And so I have, old point shoes on display throughout, a little old Houston Ballet stage pass at the Wortham Theater Center in downtown Houston. But you'll see this painting above here. This is from Russia. This was from my uncle and aunt who visited there and got this painting of a ballerina, which is beautiful. Back in this corner, we have film-related artwork, just from, big box stores. But because my husband and I both were involved in film and we met through making student films, that is meaningful to us. And so that's part of this room as well, even though it's not really primarily a film room, but it's artistic. It's, again, dance, film, music. It's basically like a room of the types of art that we pursue. Here is a movie poster from Mao's Last Dancer, which is signed with a message from Ben Stevenson. He was the longtime choreographer at the Houston Ballet, including when I danced in the academy, and I emceed a movie screening Q&A of this film when it came out at a Dallas movie theater. And so that's on display there. And then more ballet things. Actually, Ben Stevenson, oh, ouchie. Ben Stevenson is right there in the middle. And my photographer extraordinaire, Linda Angel from NBC, when I was a news reporter there. So this was when I did a story with Ben about this film. And then we have another ballet painting here. This one is the Green Dancer, or Dancers on the Stage, a Degas piece of art. And then here, Impressionist and early modern paintings, just more ballet. And I've got my point shoes hanging from the ballet bar on the TV stand here, which we don't have a TV standing on it because we have a Walmart mounted TV. There's a little picture of me in front of the Houston Ballet Academy in the ballet point shoe picture frame. And of course, we have mirrored walls for the purpose of doing ballet here. And if you'll recognize another piece of Japanese art on a piece of fabric in a display box right above this bookcase, just like you saw in the formal dining room. Now here, we have some photos that are framed, okay? The trick though is that with framed photos, you have a limited amount of table surface space or shelf space, right? There's usually a lot more wall space to hang up art than there is table or surface space to put art. And so, the designer thought that right here would be a good place to put some photos that are framed, like an old photo of me from 2010 where I'm dressed in an Indian style outfit. Here, my husband and I from when we were in college, and then some wedding photos of ours. If we come this way, you'll see just random things on the wall that we've placed. Here is a constellation showing what the night sky looked like the day that we got married. And then here in the laundry room, the theme we were going for in here is just really clean and fresh. We've achieved that in terms of the materials, but haven't really achieved a whole lot of it in terms of the art. So I'm still looking for some things to place on this wall to kind of enhance that, because what's going on here is we have this bunny rabbit frame, which is just a cute little thing that, I've had for a long time, like decades. And then this wall is a wall of photos, like personal photos, mainly of like me and my family and friends, hamsters, and then just like this random Chinese thing that our designer did not green light, but we just wanted to find a place for it. So we thought, there's no harm in just putting it in the laundry room. But yeah, this isn't anything that enhances the whole fresh, clean motif we have going on. But it's just sometimes, you just have things that you don't want to just box up and put in a closet. You want to put it out somewhere. And so you find a place that's not too egregious. All right, here are some caricatures as we're entering the play and stay room, which is where Our sons will be playing, and then we'll have guests staying here at sometimes. A growth chart for our son, and we'll have one for our second one on the wall right next to it. This is me featured in a magazine from Louisville, so that's up on the wall. We have a framed puzzle that my husband and I did. This is, I think, Venice, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's in Italy. And so that's up on the wall. This wall over here is a wall of footprints and handprints of our family so far with our first son and his photo. And then below it, where you see the big blank space, we'll be adding our second son there with also a framed photo of him and footprints and handprints after he is born. As you can see on this wall, we have these collage frames showing progression of our first son's age. Above that, our family photos. The two below will be adding to it with our second son's solo pics, and then a couple of, or at the very bottom row will be the brothers together. And then this wall, we have a couple of canvas photos of our firstborn. And so we'll add pretty much like identical size and style canvas photos below with our secondborn once he comes along and we find, some photographs that really speak to who he is. Let's cross over the balcony and come into our second son's room. Right now, this is not anything final. It's still a work in progress. Here's a painting that my husband did, which was using some free paint that we got from a home improvement store. I think it was Lowe's, if I'm not mistaken, or it could have been Home Depot. They were just giving away some free paint, and we got those colors, and I just told my husband, hey, maybe you want to paint something with it. And so that's what he did. He got a canvas and did that. Here we put up these cube shelves, and so we picked little trinkets and figurines to put in there. Not too many, too little. You can see that, each box has just one or two items. We didn't want it to look too cluttered. We have a framed series of photos of my mom's longtime cat, her first cat. And then we don't have anything up here yet, but one day, we'll put something up there because this is for our second son. But right now it has served as a guest room thus far. It's, I guess, more floral and maybe what most people would call feminine. He doesn't have his footprint on it yet. So when he comes along and we start to get an idea of what he's interested in, and, if there's sort of a theme or motif we want to go for, that's when we'll start to, further design his room to make it more him. So again, right now we just have some random things like a piece of contemporary art made of the mist from Niagara Falls and something that we got from Graceland on the wall. And down the hall here we have a painting of some flowers that a friend gave me. It's very large. And again, that doesn't reflect necessarily anyone's personality or who our second son is going to be, but that's just here because we have it. So, all right, going through their bathroom into our older son's room. His room has much more warmth to it because there's a lot of rich, dark wood tones. I really love being in here. It just feels so cozy, and especially with the carpet. And because already there are things that reflect his personality. So that is what is so important, is when you have art that reflects who you are. So let's start on this wall. We have these so-called floating shelves where, again, we have decor items. We've kind of arranged them where we have a couple up there, one there, some smaller items all in a row, but spaced out nicely, and then three distinct items here, including the main showcase, which is a Swarovski Batmobile that is from my mom to our son. And so, yeah, just really wanted to have that on display. And below that, we have this framed magnetic bulletin board that is also a dry erase board that we're going to put on the wall. It's not up yet, but my schedule is so busy today. We had time to shoot this video and I wanted to get it done even though it's not up just yet. But that is where our son will place some of his art that he wants to display. Art that he doesn't want to just put in his art box and call it a day. And so, yeah, that'll be his chance to decide. And then it'll be a rotating space where, if it fills up and he brings home more art, he needs to decide, does he want to put that art in the box or put that art on display and take some of the display ones and stick those in the box? So that'll be a good decision-making process for him. We also have on his desk some different things like this picture from school that's on kind of a Lego background. And so we're just kind of spacing it out. He's very interested in cars, vehicles. So we've got my mom gave it to him, this like Subaru poster, and she gave him this Tiffany bear. She's very fancy. his name in Chinese, his ultrasound photo. So some of these just dispersed. And right now, this is kind of a semi-working desk. So he's got some different things there that he's working on. Here we have an art glass display case of items from Tiffany, from my mom. And so that's here for him and his name as a train. He took apart his Taipei 101 structure that we built together and his little Shay bicycle that I think that was from my dad, I want to say when they were somewhere, maybe in Europe. And so anyway, or maybe it was from my uncle. Oh gosh, hopefully they won't be mad that I forgot who gave it to him. So yes, so just some random things and continuing on over here, we have two little canvases that Shay made when he was very young, like a toddler. And so those are up there. And as you can see on the wall on either side of his bed, there are two paintings of airplanes or parts of airplanes that we actually got from Z Gallery. And the designer thought they would look good flanking his bed. And it kind of continues to go along with the motif of vehicles that he likes. And, you know, aerospace, rocketry is also something that he loves. And so through the theme of that, we have his bedspread, his lamp, and then right up there in the corner, his mobile with the solar system. He wants to be a rocket scientist, aka aerospace engineer, when he grows up. So that's what we have going on there. And it continues here with the art on this wall. So here is a painting that an extended family member did actually for Sakib, but we put it in Shay's room because it's still a celestial solar system themed piece of art. And then we have this rocket engineering poster from the Smithsonian here. This wall was done very nicely with a lot of thought. This is our travel wall. So we have this map here that I got, which has a really cool sepia kind of tone that has little pins of all the various cities that we have traveled to, whether alone or together. It's probably missing a few that we've forgotten about when we were younger, like as kids, but it really captures, you know, the several continents and dozens of countries. And among those, like hundreds of cities that we've been to. And so the art installer put together this lovely collection and collage, the way that the photos, the frames are arranged, the symmetry, the asymmetry, just the way that everything is very pleasing to the eye. There are some photos that we have taken in various countries. These in particular are in Europe and Asia that we decided to frame over the years. And they're, as you can see, different frames, different styles and colors, but it all really goes together very nicely. Okay, so let's wrap up right here. I will mention that our son is actually asleep. We decided to just put him to sleep in our room so that we could go through his room because our bedroom actually doesn't have a lot of art, okay? This is right outside our bedroom. This is showing our previous home where we actually had three canvases made of photos that we shot. The top one being progression shots from the same point, almost like a time lapse, showing the different stages of construction as it went along from an empty lot all the way to completion. And then the floor plan of each floor, first, second, third, you know, all here, which actually now I'm noticing that it's reversed. This is first floor, this should be second, but this is the third floor. So these two should be flipped. But anyway, we can do that on our own. So yeah, this one we did all black and white, which is various shots of the construction progression. And then here is the completed home where we've shot photos of some various rooms. So yes, this was really special for us. This was hanging in our art niche in the previous home, and here it is in our current home, just as an ode to that previous home. And in our bedroom, because we have it as more of a peaceful spa-like sanctuary, there's not a lot of things hanging up in the way of art. We actually have a framed mirror next to our bed, and we have wedding photos, one on my nightstand, one on Sakib's nightstand, and then there is a glass table. We'll have to show you this in a future video when we go through the bedroom and do the design tour of that. But there is a glass table next to a recliner in the corner where you will see a couple of framed photos also having to do with our wedding. And so, yes, that's just the limited amount there. And then in our bathroom, we also have like a couple's photo on his vanity, like from our engagement photo shoot, and then one of our family, like a maternity photo shoot on my vanity. And in the closet, there's some photos of me, more of a boudoir style. And so I always, when men come over, I go, you have to stop here. You can't go any further into the closet because you don't need to see those, even though it's really nothing more than you'd see at the water park or the beach. But anyway, it's just weird to me for people to see that. So that stays a little bit more private. And yeah, so there you have it. Thank you for watching Smarter Real Estate Weekly on Wednesdays. And again, I hope you will subscribe and like on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn so that you don't miss an episode weekly on Wednesdays. Looking forward to hearing from you through a message or a comment. Ask me questions, comments, suggestions for future videos, which I have received many of over the years, and I appreciate and thank you for watching. Bye-bye and have a great week.